Alright, so let's start with the questions. So Philip Sidney defended poetry against such description of it as the mother of lies and the nurse of abuse. His main argument here is basically the main argument here of the poet is that the poet cannot lie because he is not claiming to tell the truth. Okay, so that is the main argument. So Philip Sidney defended it in the essay for Apology for Poetry from the accusations made by Stephen Gosson in his School and Abuse. Okay, so which was dedicated to him, to Philip Sidney. Now there, Gosson makes some objections basically against poetry, and Sidney replies to the objections made by Gosson very emphatically, defending poetry in his essay. Now Sidney does this in a very logical and a scholarly way, and the main objections against poetry are that there being many other fruitful knowledge, a man might better spend his time in them than in this. Okay, so there are all knowledge available, all sorts of knowledge are available, so a man should not waste his time to poetry. Next, he talks about Stephen Gosson levied the charge that poetry is the mother of life, which Sidney defended. The third thing he called about that it is the nurse of abuse infecting us with many pestilent desires. So again, this objection was defended by Sidney. And the fourth objection that was levied by Stephen Gosson was Plato had rightly banished poets from his ideal republic, which is again said or defended by Sidney. Let's move to the next question. Next question says that in the Defence of Poesy, Sidney says, now as in geometry, the oblique must be known as well as right, and in arithmetic, the odd as well as the even. So in the actions of a life, who seeth not the filthiness of evil, wanted a great foil to perceive the beauty of virtue, which forms of poesy offers a foil that help us perceive the beauty of virtue. So basically here, just Defense of Poesy, the Sidney has been said, this particular quotation has been said by Sidney, and it is asking that which form of poesy or which form of poetry offers a foil that help us perceive the beauty of virtue. So basically it is comedy. Okay, so it is comedy. Now writing about comedy, Sidney expresses the views that comedy primarily aims at imitating the common errors of our life. Okay, so basically it makes fun of by imitating the common errors of life represented in the most ridiculous and scornful sort that may be, as it is impossible that any beholder can be such a one. All right, so basically that is he's saying that it is ridiculous and scornful because it basically impossible for any beholder to be each one, so nobody likes to be made fun of, so that's why he ridiculed comedy in Defense of Poesy. Thank you so much.